Today in our audience we have Jane Nace, Zoe Tarantino, Tara Tarantino, Mary Gerhardt, Becky Gerhardt, and Tabby Tarantino. And I'm Melanie Landis. A sociology textbook says pornography has existed for centuries, but in recent decades it has come to be considered a social problem in many communities. What is pornography? According to the Merriam-Webster dictionary, pornography is the depiction of erotic behavior, as in pictures or writing, intended to cause sexual excitement. Pornography is not just an act for sexual excitement. It's an addictive poison that will take control of your life. Overall, 72% of men watch pornography. That's a huge amount compared to the 28% of women who watch pornography. Considering those numbers, most of you probably know someone who is involved in pornography, whether you're aware of who it is or not. Many of us would agree that pornography is not a good thing, but because we don't talk to people about it, we can't expect things to change. And the 4.2 million pornography websites will continue to increase. Let's look at the effects that it has on people. Some of you have children today, and others of you have close relationships with children. A child abuse textbook says child pornography is currently a multi-million-dollar business. Torrid tots, succulent youth, and dirty games for little girls, to name a few, are titles for child pornography magazines. A source from CQ researcher says many people involved with children sexually are not dirty old men who pull children into a back alley. They're people who like little kids and kids like them. Statistically, the child molester is far more likely to be the child's father, stepfather, uncle, or family friend than a stranger. A social problem textbook states many states have passed legislation that increase the penalties for those found guilty of producing or distributing pornographic materials featuring minors. But the extremely rapid growth of the Internet during the 1990s has raised anew the fear that many children and adolescents will be exposed to sexually explicit materials or will enter into a sexually exploitative conversation and even relationships with adults who wish to use the youth photograph for pornographic purposes. How many of you would agree that pornography dehumanizes women?
Oh.
An article from CQ researcher says, feminists worry that the overabundance of people who are perfect physical specimens in TV, movies, and advertisements can damage the self-esteem of young girls. All we ever see are young women who are beautiful in a very conventional, idealized way that communicates to girls the ultimate standards of self-worth. And what the advertisements have done to our construct of what we think is sexy has more to do with narcissism than sex. Pornography develops distorted perceptions about sex and causes many people, mostly guys, to view women as sex objects rather than human beings with character, kindness, and personality. Have some pictures of different advertisements. Here is a picture of a guy and a girl in bed, and the guy is leaning over the girl, and there's a magazine with a picture of a BMW on her face. And it says, The Ultimate Attraction. You have a little girl, and her shadow is a grown, thin lady in stilettos. We have a table that's made out of legs with high heels on, just showing that we're just there to hold things. We have an Arby's advertisement that says, we're about to reveal something you'll really drool over. They're hamburgers that are like breasts. And we have Dove Body Wash that says, no girl should need a guy to get that tingly all over feeling. We have from Burger King, it'll blow your mind away for the BK Super 7-incher with a girl with her mouth open. And to advertise the new Pontiac Star Chief, spread your legs, enjoy maximum leg room. So, pornography's popularity relies on the dehumanization of its subjects, which are mostly women. If you were to ask a man who is a porn addict if he would want his wife or daughter involved in porn, 99.9% of the time the man would reply no. That right there illustrates dehumanization. The guy obviously knows that there's something wrong with it, but he can do it to other people's daughters, but they can't do it to his own. Pornography takes human sexuality and all of its love, hope, and fidelity and turns it into an empty and lifeless thing. Pornography will depersonalize, enslave, destruct, and isolate you. Pornography has very negative effects on the human brain. Men are more visual than women for the most part, which is why the percentage of pornography viewers is men, the higher percentage. The effects of pornography are sometimes compared to cocaine. In the same way that drug addicts need larger doses to get high, porn addicts need more extreme materials for the same level of excitement. Sexual arousal images stay in a man's brain for a very long time due to different chemical functions. It stores the images and information in the cortex part of the brain, which is your long-time memory, and it can remain almost as vivid 60 years later as if they just saw it. Our culture says that sexual freedom is the way to live and that there are no restrictions. Our society puts in mind it's all about me. Girls believe that looking sexy and showing more skin is expected by their peers, and they just believe a lie. Sex, everything about and involving that word, is what kids, teenagers, and adults deal with every day. Sexting is quickly becoming more popular in this generation due to the increase in electronics. Sexting is sending a sexual picture over an electronic device, cell phones, webcams, emails, etc. And what many people don't know about sexting is that it's a crime, and it's proven that suicide rates have gone up due to sexting. If you think about it, a girl who has low self-esteem, who just wanted to send a picture of her chest to her boyfriend, she goes into school the next day and everybody has a picture of it on their cell phone. That right there is dehumanizing. Now that you're aware of the effects pornography has, there are ways to help stop it. Pornography is a $10 billion industry and is increasing. More than 2.5 billion pornography emails are sent out every day. There are several ways to decrease pornography influences. For parents, putting blockers on your computer will help tremendously. Thinking, acting, and speaking positively about yourself and others will help you believe in yourself and others and keep self-esteem at higher levels. And building each other up and reminding people that the view society has is not important. All of these tips will help pornography addictions if we act on them. Remember earlier how I said pornography is compared to cocaine? A source from Crazy References says, the first step towards rehabilitation involves detoxification, the removal of the addictive drug from the patient's system. The next step, preventing a relapse, is far more difficult, but various behavioral approaches can be effective. These include teaching coping skills or attempting to desensitize an addict to the cues associated with drug taking. Most addicts have been controlled by pornography most of their life. That's a lot of influence you would have to overcome. To help overcome pornography addiction, create an action plan for the times you're alone. Learn to enjoy being alone. Do housework, study, exercise, or just get out of the house. Find things that you love to do, that you can do when you are alone. Fill your mind with something uplifting when you catch an unpleasant thought in your mind. Maybe sing a favorite song or recite scripture or a quote, whatever it takes to overcome the addiction. At this time, I would like to answer any questions that you may have. Yeah.
Did you find in the overcoming what length of time it would take? Is everybody different? Or?
Yeah, well, they're like, pornography doesn't have a set addiction, so it depends on, I guess how long and how your body works.
It would be like a lifelong.
It could be a lifelong, and some people will be addicted to it their whole life, but they can stop viewing it for years at a time and then get right back into it.
Like a lifelong. Keeping on tablets.
Any other questions? Pornography ruins the gift of sex that God gave us for marriage. It destroys relationships, families, and yourself. Talk to your kids first before someone else does. Talk to the people in your life about pornography addiction. They are in desperate need of knowing the truth.